Thor 5 is happening, and Marvel may actually have a surprise in store. In fact, scooper Daniel Rickman reports that Thor 5 is now officially in development at Marvel Studios. Even wilder is that it's slated as part of the MCU's next saga, which kicks off the events after Avengers Secret Wars. That means Thor 5 might land no earlier than 2027 or 2028, essentially launching a new MCU era, the soft reboot that we've been talking about. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. And what's more with this, sounds like Taika Waititi, who directed Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, is out, which I think is a very, very good thing. Instead, Marvel wants a fresh take, and rumors say Chris Hemsworth himself is pushing for new directors, and we'll get into that later. He wants a darker, more gritty, visceral tone with Thor, not the slapstick comedy that we got in Love and Thunder. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Drop a like, make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications. We are going to go over every Thor 5 leak, rumor, confirmation, fan theories, and how it would actually fit in to the next saga, because that's actually an interesting leak. Now, long story short, the Thor franchise is getting a soft reboot in the post-Secret Wars MCU, according to all of these insiders. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Marvel's planning to mix everything together. Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four in the new universe. Because why not, right? That's what everybody wants, I guess. And we're also going to dig into a rumor that Thor may even end up teaming up with an X-Man. Yes, teaming up with one single X-Man, which would be crazy, and taking part in a completely new saga of gods and mutants. Now, let's break down the official stuff first. Dark Horizons confirms that Rickman's scoop, a fifth film in the Thor franchise, is now officially in development at Marvel Studios, is real. The key detail is timing. It's planned after Avengers Secret Wars, making it part of the MCU's so-called next saga, soft reboot, whatever we want to call it. We're talking late Phase 7 or beyond here, not something that's dropping before then. Now, behind the scenes, Marvel is eyeing a different creative team, allegedly. Multiple reports agree that Waititi is out, won't return for Thor 5. And fans, myself included, and a lot of you probably, felt that Love and Thunder was too goofy. Now, Love and Thunder was really cool for me on the point that was my first ever red carpet walk, and I got to go to LA and see the world premiere, so that was awesome. But even Hemsworth admitted that he became a parody of his character, and that's pretty wild. So for Thor 5, Marvel wants a new fresh start. One rumor names Extraction director Sam Hargrave as a contender, given his action pedigree and his connection with Hemsworth. Others say Hemsworth has been meeting with George Miller, who is the director of Furiosa, and that Miller is interested in Thor 5, once again connected to Chris Hemsworth. Bottom line is, you can expect a huge tonal shift for Thor's next solo adventure. Probably leaner, more epic, more dark, more visceral than the last one. Now, what about Thor in the near term? Well, Hemsworth is confirmed to appear in the upcoming Avengers films. I mean, Doomsday and Secret Wars, of course. He's going to play a pivotal part. And he just posted this very sentimental thank you video to fans, saying, "Playing Thor has been one of the greatest honors of my life. Thank you for making my journey through the MCU unforgettable." And, of course, ending with next up is Doomsday. In other words, Thor is going to be a major player in all of those. And people immediately said, oh my gosh, they're going to kill him in Doomsday. This is him getting emotional and wanting to tell us how much he's loved the journey and foretelling or foreshadowing that he's not going to make it out of Doomsday. Well, I thought that too, but now that these new scoops have come out, that's not the case. Then again, it could be the case because Doom could kill him and he could go to Valhalla and then he could come back. And I said on our podcast the other day, I think that's a horrible, horrible way to do it. It's just so cookie cutter. I hope not. Now, fans are reading a lot into that tone. Superhero Hype reports an insider saying Marvel is planning to give Thor a proper send-off, much like they did for Iron Man and Black Widow. Those rumors spin in that Thor might actually sacrifice himself in one of those Avengers finales, but not in the throwaway way. The insider specifically hints that Thor's story would continue once again, like we said, in Valhalla, even if he dies in battle. In short, Marvel wants they want to honor Thor's legacy. They could have him do a heroic death in Doomsday, come back in Secret Wars, but they also teased there's still a place waiting for Thor at the end of all of it. And it goes back to the whole nobody dies in the MCU but Uncle Ben, and I don't like it. Because if he dies and we know there's a good chance he's coming back, there's just, I don't know. There's no real levity to that. We'll see. You guys let me know. I mean, we know Jane entered there. We don't know if Thor's arc ends up or evolves in the next Avengers movie, but all signs are pointing to Hemsworth going on way after that, which would put him as the longest running Avenger by a long shot. Now, what is the next saga? Where would Thor 5 actually land? Well, Kevin Feige has hinted that Phase 7 Plus is basically the Mutant Saga. He famously said Marvel has a 10-year plan for the X-Men. With how many insiders call the next phase the Mutant Saga, I mean, in plain English, the MCU is rebooting by adding the X-Men. I mean, you're going to do it probably through Deadpool and Wolverine, Future X projects, all that, and the Fantastic Four alongside the Avengers. Now, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, they're expected to introduce many of those heroes. We know that. We've already seen a bunch of the legacy X-Men that are going to be confirmed for Doomsday. So for Thor 5, that means he'll be operating in a brand new world. Imagine Thor Odinson joining forces with Storm or other X-heroes. I mean, mutants on the scene, right? Thor could be more of a team player in this era instead of a leader, and Thor's character could help bridge the old world, as Guardians and Avengers, and the new world, mutants, cosmic heroes, all together. Fans are also speculating that Marvel would use the Avengers movies to set up the new status quo, so by the time Thor 5 actually does come around, everybody's going to be aware we're in the Mutant Saga. And of course, if he's fighting alongside or against X-Men in the upcoming Avengers movies, well, that just solidifies all of that. Now, let's talk about some wild stuff. Fan theories, they're popping up everywhere. First, Valhalla. Love and Thunder already gave us a teaser by sending Jane Foster to Valhalla in the mid-credits. That set up a major wave of speculation. Many think Thor's final mission could literally take place in the afterlife. So, Den of Geek suggested that Thor's final wish might be a storming of Valhalla to right all the wrongs in his life, maybe save Jane. In other words, Thor could choose to go to Valhalla, clean up the unfinished business, maybe rescuing all of his friends, settling scores, and other fans, well, they think that it could be more of Thor waking up in Valhalla dead and then fighting gods and monsters there. One theory says Thor wakes up in Valhalla, fighting to save it from a metaphysical threat. I mean, okay, the Black Winter, something like that. I mean, that would make Thor 5 a more mythic cosmic clash of gods, but I also think that's pretty ambitious. Another popular threat involves Thor's now grown daughter, Love. Of course, played by Hemsworth's real daughter in Love and Thunder. She proved incredibly powerful in Love and Thunder, and if Thor were to fall in battle, fans are theorizing Love could survive to become a new god hero herself, keep that legacy going. Now, that's all speculative, but it does tie into the whole idea of Thor's passing the torch, at least for the time being. Now, what about Hercules? Well, Brett Goldstein's Hercules popped up in Thor 4 for about 6 seconds, right? Then vanished. Fans on Reddit and sites like Games Radar, they want answers. Many speculate he'll show up in Thor 5, of course. One commenter said, I want Thor 5 to be based on Chaos War with Hercules as the co-lead. It could be a buddy cop deal. They start out not liking each other and they end up together. Basically, could end up being a very dark story where they battle a Pantheon-level threat together. So, I mean, Beta Ray Bill, other characters, they're on the table. Anything's possible. And bottom line, theories range from Thor leading an army to Valhalla to actually teaming up with Hercules or even Storm, which I know, these are all pretty wild. Like I said earlier, Hemsworth has been very open about Love and Thunder. In a recent interview, he admitted, I got caught up in the improv and the wackiness and I became a parody of myself and I didn't stick the landing. Translation is, he feels the film's tone went too far. So for Thor 5, he's clearly looking for a grittier, more grounded style. That aligns with all the rumors. As mentioned, he's reportedly pushing for Sam Hargrave from Extraction to direct it, which suggests a much more action-heavy storytelling event. Even more telling, Hemsworth helped set up a meeting between Feige and Mad Max director George Miller. Miller has shown interest in Thor 5 too, like we talked about. So Miller's all about epic, high-stakes adventure, which tells you Thor 5 might be aiming for that Mad Max Furiosa level of intensity. One thing you can expect is Thor 5 is going to feel different. Less cartoonish humor, more heroic, kind of just levity to it. Marvel has to balance handing Thor a good send-off, per the rumors, with the new phase tone. So let me know what you guys think. Thor 5 is happening. It's officially in development as part of Marvel's supposed next saga, post-Secret Wars, the Mutant Saga, which is crazy to think about. So we're probably looking at 2027, 2028. Waititi's out. It's going to have a whole new tone. And we know Thor's going to show up in Doomsday and Secret Wars. We don't know if he's going to die and come back, but there's a good chance of it, honestly. And I think it's going to be good. I'm ready for Hemsworth to come back, excited, ready to go, and give us that God of Thunder that you really, really have to take seriously. What do you guys think? Give me your best thoughts. I read every single comment, and I'll see you soon.